Yes, Sister is here, and I bring greetings to the earth beings listening, and especially to my family and friends, whether you know you are or not. The last time we recorded, Anchor and I talked about the idea of ascension that is popular, widespread among beings on earth who are craving spiritual evolution and growth. We pointed out that the concept of leaving the third dimension for something better, something higher, something that feels more comfortable, is not the true path of ascension, and we would rather call it expansion, because you have to completely fill with your consciousness, with your awareness, with your experience, one dimension before you regularly experience another. We realized we were a bit misleading because one does not have to completely 100%, 110% experience a dimension before being aware of others, but you have to be close. That is why Anchor and Sister can be together like this because of Anchor's fulfillment of earth being existence. Anchor's fulfillment is at least 90%. Now, we wish to move to a related topic that is the concept of being a multi-dimensional creature. Have you heard that? Have you heard that you are a multi-dimensional being? Anchor has, and she knows many, usually the ones who are attracted by the idea of ascension, have also heard this and may even repeat it, but without truly understanding what it means. If you are a multidimensional being, you do not have to ascend to a different dimension because you are already there. You already exist through, across all dimensions, all levels of spiritual evolution. So when you seek to ascend, or as we prefer, expand, what you are seeking is connection with that part of you that is already conscious in a different dimension. That is why sister and anchor can say they are the same, although anchor's consciousness is rooted in third dimension and on the planet Earth, while sister's consciousness is present in the fifth dimension and is associated with the Pleiades and not one particular planet. But we are consciousness points of the same multi-dimensional being. We remember. Remember is not the appropriate word. We are aware of being conscious in other dimensions. In first dimension, the expression of consciousness is simple awareness. In second dimension, the awareness moves outside itself, begins to form shapes, lines. First is usually line from one point of awareness, expanding point of awareness outward, connecting 2 points with line. And from there, simple shapes, Anchor and I spent a lot of time as a triangle before we discovered circle, and then spiral. From there, second dimensional consciousness grows into patterns. You can find these expressed in nature as the patterns become closer to third dimensional awareness. Once second dimensional awareness is completely filled and begins to spill over into third dimension. And there are not strong dividing lines. The borders between levels or dimensions are fuzzy. So when Anchor and I discussed this, she suddenly was filled with delight to think that she may have been a crop circle in second dimension. And I will say, I as sister will say, yes, crop circles often are second dimensional beings on the verge of becoming third dimensional beings. And those in human form, those who have grown to human level, sometimes replicate their own second dimensional patterns by making crop circles, but also in other ways, in art, in music, in mathematics, in engineering, even like laying out of a garden or a recipe. So that is how second dimensional awareness remains with the third dimensional being. Just as fourth dimensional consciousness retains first, second, and third dimensional consciousness and experience. Now, as a multi-dimensional being, your consciousness may not be activated in all dimensions at the same time. And forgive me for struggling here because linear time is not applicable in all dimensions. However, I must explain through anchors, language, and awareness and experiences living in 3D and linear time. So the description is suitable. For some who are on an expansion path, they will awaken the consciousness of themselves in a higher dimension. And others will meet the consciousness that is already awake. But no matter whether your consciousness is awake in dimensions beyond the third or not, it is the process of expansion that will bring you to understand what it is truly to be a multi-dimensional being. You already are. And the way to fully struggling for the right word, we do not think we have the concept in Anchor's language. To fully live, exist, understand, be aware of yourself through all dimensions is to expand where your consciousness is awake. So again, we say, you must embrace life on earth in the third dimension and experience everything, understand the functioning, how the dimension functions. Do not strive to defy, but to understand. Oh, yes. Do not attempt to defy being a fully conscious and awake and aware and experiencing earth being human. Loving your life and being fully 3D is the way to expand. And please give up the idea of ascend. The time is for Sister to withdraw. There is much affection beaming to all of my friends and family and all earth beings. For now, I bid farewell with smiles.